Here's part 1 of The Sleeping Giant Awakens in approximately 800 words, written in simple English with a third-person perspective. The sleeping giant awakens. The skies above Seoul glowed orange with pollution as Dr. Sunwoo checked his equipment, one last time. For 15 years he had pointed his radio telescope at Proxima Centauri, hoping to hear something, anything from beyond Earth. Most of his colleagues had given up, but Sunwoo never lost hope. It was 2157. Humans had small bases. On Mars and miners working in the asteroid belt. But Earth remained home to most people. The planet was tired, its resources nearly gone after centuries of use. Another night, another search, Sunwoo said to himself as he adjusted the settings. His assistant Unha brought him coffee. "You should rest sometimes," she said. "I'll rest. When—" Sunwoo stopped mid-sentence. The computer screen showed something new. A pattern. Not random noise, but a repeating signal. "Is that—" Una leaned closer. "Yes," Sunwoo whispered. "First contact." Within hours, the world learned about the signal. For days, Sunwoo and other scientists worked to understand it. The message contained mathematical sequences, simple pictures, and finally, instructions for building a communication device. 2 months later, Earth sent its first reply. 3 months after that, they received a new message. The aliens were coming to visit. They call themselves the Proximan Cooperative, Sunwoo explained to world leaders gathered at the United Nations. They say they are a group of 15 different alien species who work together. President Jiho of the Asian Alliance looked worried. "And they're coming here? Are they friendly?" "They say they are," replied Sunwoo, "but we should be careful." When the alien ship arrived, it didn't land on Earth. It stayed in orbit, and smaller ships brought visitors down to a special meeting place built in neutral waters in the Pacific Ocean. The aliens didn't look like humans expected. The main representatives, called Proximan Primes, had 4 arms, skin that changed color with their emotions, and 3 eyes that blinked sideways. "We greet Earth," said the lead alien through a translation device. "We have watched your world for many cycles. Now you are ready for introduction to the greater galaxy." For a week, humans and aliens talked. The aliens offered some technology, better solar panels, medicines for some diseases, and faster computers. But they refused to share their most important technologies like their faster-than-light travel or their gravity control systems. "You must develop at the proper pace," they explained. "Too much, too fast is dangerous." The aliens invited Earth to join the cooperative as a Level 3 member, which meant humans could visit other worlds, but couldn't vote on cooperative decisions. "This is insulting," said General Minsu during a private meeting of Earth's Defense Council. "They treat us like children." "We should be thankful they noticed us at all," argued Trade Minister Yunman. "Their technology is hundreds of years ahead of ours." Sunwoo wasn't sure what to think. The aliens were peaceful, but something felt wrong about how they talked to humans. His suspicions grew stronger when Una rushed into his office late one night. Her face was pale, her hands shaking as she held a small recording device. "I was helping set up equipment for tomorrow's meeting," she explained. "The aliens didn't know I was there. They were talking among themselves in their own language, but my translation device was on." She played the recording. The alien voices sounded different when they thought no humans were listening, colder, more arrogant. "These Earth beings are even more primitive than we expected," said one voice. "They've barely left their own planet. Their technology is simple, but their biology is interesting," said another. "Their brains are surprisingly complex." "The sleeping giants of Earth," said a third voice with a sound like laughter. "They have potential they don't even understand. Good thing they're still sleeping. If they ever truly awoke, they might surprise the galaxy." "They won't wake up anytime soon," the first voice replied. "We'll make sure of that. Keep them happy with little gifts. Keep them dependent. In a few generations, they'll be perfect workers." For the difficult mining operations in the Kuiper systems, Sunwoo and Una stared at each other in horror. "We need to take this to the president right away," said Sunwoo. As they rushed from the building, they didn't notice the small alien probe following them, recording everything. In space, aboard the main alien ship, the Proximan Prime Commander received an alert. Humans had discovered their true plans. This complicated things, but it wasn't a serious problem. After all, what could one small planet do against the might of 15 advanced civilizations? The commander didn't understand that Earth's long history of wars had prepared humans for fighting against stronger enemies. He didn't know that humans worked hardest when insulted or threatened. He had no idea what would happen when Earth's sleeping giant finally woke up. The recording from Yunha spread across human networks like wildfire. Within hours, every major news outlet on Earth broadcast the aliens' true intentions. People gathered in streets and squares, their faces twisted with anger as they watched the Proximans dismiss humanity as sleeping giants to be exploited. President Jiho called an emergency meeting of the United Nations. The Great Hall buzzed with tension as world leaders filed in. Traditional enemies sat side by side, united by a common insult. For the first time in our troubled history, the president said, her voice steady, humanity faces a threat that makes our differences seem small. The Proximans see us as primitives, as future slaves. The Russian premier stood. We should fight. Now show them our strength. And lose? The European chancellor replied. Their ships could destroy our cities from orbit before we fired a single shot. The room erupted in arguments until General Minsu slammed his hand on the table. Everyone fell silent. The Proximans think we're asleep, he said. Good. Let them think that. In public, we smile and accept their terms. In private, we prepare. Thus began the greatest secret project in human history. They called it Operation Awakening. On the surface, Earth played the role of the grateful junior partner in the Proximan cooperative. Alien diplomats were welcomed with elaborate ceremonies. Human representatives humbly accepted the limited technologies offered, but beneath the oceans, inside hollowed-out mountains, and in hidden facilities on the far side of the moon, humanity worked with single-minded purpose. The best scientists, engineers, and military minds gathered in secret, analyzing every scrap of alien technology they could access. Dr. Sunwoo led the science division, working 20-hour days to understand Proximan physics. They've given us toys, he told his team, but even toys can teach us principles. In a hidden base under the Pacific, Commander Do-Yun built Earth's first true space fleet. A veteran of the water wars, he knew how to fight against superior forces. We won't beat them with their own tactics, he told his pilots. We'll create new ones. 6 months after first contact, the Proximans established an embassy in New Seoul. From their towering crystal building, they observed humans with amusement, never noticing the secret activities happening around them. One night, Yunha, now working directly with President Jiho, followed Ambassador Terul, the lead Proximan diplomat. Using a cloaking device reverse-engineered from alien garbage, she recorded another damning conversation. The humans are progressing exactly as predicted, Terul told another alien. They're focusing all their efforts on the technologies we've given them. When will they be ready for the mining operations? Asked his companion. 20 Earth years, maybe less. Their bodies are surprisingly durable for working in high-gravity environments. And they suspect nothing? Terul's skin flashed blue with amusement. They're still sleeping soundly. By the time they wake up, they'll be too dependent on us to resist. Yuna brought the recording straight to Sunwoo, who had made a breakthrough of his own. Studying the power systems of alien technology, he had discovered something remarkable. Their entire civilization depends on a rare element they call proxium, he explained to President Jiho and General Minsu. But it's just a form of quantum-enhanced thorium. We have equivalent elements on Earth that they don't know about. Candy, we use this? Asked the president. Yes, Sunwoo replied. Their technology is built to work only with proxium. It's how they control access to advanced systems. But we can build our own versions using Earth elements. Different path, same destination, maybe even better. The president nodded. Double the funding for Project Awakening. If the aliens want to see us as sleeping giants, let them. Every giant wakes eventually. Across Earth, then Mars, then the asteroid belt, humans worked together as never before. Old enemies became allies. Resources once used for war against each other were redirected toward preparing for a greater conflict. In public, humanity played the part of an eager student, grateful for alien scraps. In private, they were becoming something the Proximans never imagined possible, a civilization that could match their technology in years, not centuries. Commander Do-hyun watched his first space destroyer take shape in the hidden shipyards of Europa. "How long until the aliens notice?" asked his second-in-command. Do-hyun smiled grimly. "Long enough. They think we're children. They don't check on sleeping babies very often." As the first year of alien contact ended, humanity had already progressed further than the Proximans thought possible in a decade. The giant was not only stirring, it was already standing up, gathering its strength, eyes wide open, and the Proximans didn't suspect a thing. 5 years passed. The Proximan embassy in New Seoul stood tall among human buildings, its crystal walls gleaming in the sunlight. Inside, Ambassador Terul felt pleased with how things were going. Humans were developing at the expected pace, slow and predictable. "Another request from the humans for medical technology," Terul told his assistant. "We'll give them the basics, cellular repair systems. Nothing too advanced." "Are you sure it's wise to give them even that?" asked the assistant. "They're still decades from understanding how it truly works," Terul replied, "and it makes them grateful." What the Proximans didn't know was that Dr. Sunwoo had already reverse-engineered their cellular repair technology 2 years ago. In a hidden laboratory beneath the old subway system, he and his team had improved it beyond what the aliens could imagine. "The Proximans use a single-frequency approach," Sunwoo explained to President Jiho during her secret visit. "Our version uses multiple frequencies. It works 5 times faster and requires half the energy." Similar breakthroughs happened everywhere. Under the Atlantic Ocean, engineer Minji developed new ship designs that could be built quickly using Earth's materials. Unlike the complex Proximan vessels that required specialized alien metals, her ships used common elements in revolutionary ways. "Their ships are like intricate watches," she explained to Commander Do-hyun. "Beautiful but hard to make. Ours are like modular blocks. We can build a fleet in months, not years." On the far side of the moon, hidden from both Earth and Proximan observers, the first human space station grew larger each month. It appeared on alien scans as a small mining operation. In reality, it housed the control center for humanity's growing fleet and the training ground for space pilots. Commander Do-hyun watched as his pilots practiced in simulators. "The Proximans fight in formations following strict patterns," he told them. "They've never faced an enemy that could match their technology, so they've grown predictable. We will be unpredictable." In the asteroid belt, mining operations that looked primitive to alien observers secretly extracted rare materials needed for advanced weapons. The miners themselves didn't know the true purpose of their work. They believed they were gathering resources for Earth's growing colonies. Earth itself changed. Old national borders still existed on maps, but in practice humans worked together with unprecedented unity. The Earth Defense Coalition grew from a military alliance into a true world government. For the first time in history, humanity spoke with one voice. Meanwhile, the Proximans grew complacent. Their quarterly reports to the Cooperative Council always said the same thing. Earth develops according to projection. No signs of unexpected advancement. One day, a junior Proximan scientist named Larix noticed something odd. Earth's power consumption had decreased by 15% over 3 years, despite their population and industry growing. "They must have created more efficient energy systems," he told Ambassador Terul. "Impossible," Terul replied. "We haven't given them that technology." "Then how do you explain it?" "Simple conservation. Perhaps they're running out of fuel." Larix wasn't convinced. He began his own investigation, scanning Earth for unusual energy signatures. But Earth scientists had anticipated this. All their advanced technology was shielded in ways the Proximans couldn't detect. In a facility beneath the Pacific Ocean, President Jiho met with the leaders of Project Awakening. Holographic displays showed their progress. A fleet of 50 warships, hidden throughout the solar system, quantum communication networks that the aliens couldn't intercept, weapons that could match or exceed Proximan capabilities. "Are we ready?" asked the president. Dr. Sunwoo nodded. "Technically, yes, but I suggest we wait a little longer. The Proximans are planning something big. Their communications have increased recently." "What are they planning?" asked General Minsu. "We don't know yet," replied Yuna, now head of intelligence. "But we've intercepted fragments about new resource worlds and efficient distribution of labor species." "Labor species," Do-hyun repeated grimly. "That's what they see us as." "Keep watching," ordered the president. "The sleeping giant is almost ready to open its eyes. But when we move, we must be certain of victory." Unknown to the humans, the Proximans had indeed found new worlds, 3 planets with primitive civilizations, perfect for exploitation. Their plan to use humans as labor would soon extend to these new species as well. The stage was set for the final confrontation between the awakening giant of Earth and the unsuspecting Proximan cooperative. The United Nations chamber fell silent as the emergency broadcast began. On the main screen, images showed alien ships surrounding 3 distant planets. The Proximan ambassador addressed the galactic community. "We claim these worlds under cooperative law," Terul announced. "Their inhabitants require guidance to reach their potential. The cooperative will provide this guidance." Earth's representative, a young diplomat named Junho, stood up. "Those civilizations are free peoples. You're calling invasion guidance and slavery potential. We oppose this action." Terul's skin flickered with blue amusement. "Earth's opinion has been noted. However, as a Level 3 member, you have no voting rights in this matter." Behind Junho, screens showed the reality. Proximan ships bombarded defense positions on the 3 worlds. Ground forces rounded up the local inhabitants, beings with 4 legs and short trunks who looked nothing like humans or Proximans. "This violates the basic principles of freedom," Junho insisted. An older alien from another species leaned toward him. "Naive children who don't understand necessity," he whispered loudly enough for others to hear. Several alien representatives laughed. Back on Earth, President Jiho met with the Defense Council. "This confirms our worst fears," she said. "The Proximans enslaved developing worlds. We would have been next." "We're still their target," said General Minsu. "Our spies report that a Proximan fleet is heading to our system, largest one yet." "What do they want?" asked Dr. Sunwoo. Yuna placed a decoded message on the table. "They're demanding increased contributions, double the resources we currently provide, plus 5,000 humans for what they call specialized training. Human conscripts for their wars," Commander Do-hyun translated grimly. "The beginning of our enslavement." "How long until they arrive?" asked the president. 3 days, replied Yunha. "They expect no resistance." President Jiho looked at each council member. "Is Operation Awakening ready?" "Yes," said Commander Do-hyun. "The fleet is in position." "All defensive systems are operational," added General Minsu. "Our communications can't be intercepted," confirmed Dr. Sunwoo. The president nodded. "Then it's time. The giant wakes." 3 days later, the Proximan fleet arrived at the edge of the solar system. 20 massive ships, each carrying smaller attack vessels. Their commander, Admiral Nexus, sent a message to Earth. "Prepare your tribute. Resistance will result in orbital bombardment of your major cities." For hours, Earth made no response. The aliens assumed humans were frantically discussing their limited options. In reality, Earth was executing a carefully planned defense. As the alien fleet approached Mars orbit, Commander Do-hyun gave the signal. Suddenly, from behind Jupiter's moons, Earth's hidden fleet appeared. 50 warships, built with technology the Proximans thought impossible for humans to develop for centuries. Admiral Nexus couldn't believe the readings. "Impossible," he shouted. "They're using quantum drive engines." Before the Proximans could regroup, human ships surrounded them, cutting off retreat paths. Smaller vessels launched from Earth, bases on Mars and the asteroid belt, forming a second layer of attack positions. "This is Commander Do-hyun of Earth Defense Force," came the transmission to the alien fleet. "Your ships are surrounded. Power down your weapons." Admiral Nexus laughed. "You play at war with copied technology. One Proximan destroyer can defeat your entire fleet." "Let's test that theory," replied Do-hyun calmly. When the lead Proximan destroyer fired its main weapon, something unexpected happened. The beam hit an invisible shield around Do-hyun's flagship and dissipated harmlessly. "Multi-phase quantum shielding," explained Dr. Sunwoo, standing beside Do-hyun on the bridge. "We didn't copy your technology, Admiral. We improved it." The battle lasted less than an hour. Earth's ships disabled the Proximan fleet without destroying a single vessel. Their weapons targeted propulsion and weapon systems with surgical precision, leaving life support intact. When it was over, Commander Do-hyun opened a channel to the defeated admiral. "We could have annihilated you," he said simply. "Remember that when you report home." On Earth, people gathered in streets and squares again, but this time they celebrated. The sleeping giant had not only awakened, it had won its first battle. The defeated Proximan ships floated in Earth orbit, their engines silent. Inside his flagship, Admiral Nexus received his final instructions from Earth. "You will return to Proximan space with a message," President Jiho told him through the video feed. "Earth withdraws from the cooperative immediately. The entire Sol system is now sovereign territory. Furthermore, we declare a protection zone extending 50 light-years in all directions. All developing civilizations within this zone are under our protection, effective immediately." Admiral Nexus laughed, though there was fear in his eyes. "The cooperative will never accept these terms. We have 15 species, hundreds of worlds. You have one planet and a few small colonies." "Had," corrected Commander Do-hyun. "While you were focused on Earth, we built settlements throughout our system. And as for your technological advantage..." He pressed a button, revealing a holographic map showing dozens of human outposts beyond Pluto. "Impossible," whispered the Admiral. "You can't have faster than light travel already." "We call it the jump drive," said Dr. Sunwoo. "Unlike your system, ours doesn't require rare materials. Any human ship can travel between stars." The defeated fleet departed the next day, escorted to the edge of the solar system by human ships. As they vanished into deep space, Earth began the next phase of its plan. Within 2 weeks, human vessels appeared in orbit around the 3 worlds the Proximans had recently invaded. The sight of Earth ships caused panic among the alien occupation forces. "We expected the cooperative fleet," a Proximan commander said when Do-hyun contacted him. "Not you." "The situation has changed," replied Do-hyun. "You have 6 hours to evacuate all personnel. Any weapons left behind will be destroyed. Any harm to the local population will be answered tenfold." On the largest of the 3 worlds, a planet called Tero by its people, Yuna led the diplomatic mission to meet with the local leaders. The Teronians looked at the humans with fear at first. "Are you new masters?" asked their chief, a tall 4-legged being with gray skin. "No," Yunha replied. "We are neighbors. We faced the same enemy and won our freedom. Now we help you win yours." Back in the Proximan capital, the Cooperative Council met in emergency session. News of Earth's rebellion spread quickly through the galaxy. Several smaller species, long dominated by the Proximans, began to question their own positions. "Earth must be crushed immediately," insisted the Proximan Prime. "They threaten everything we've built." "With what fleet?" asked a representative from another species. "They defeated our best ships without destroying them. What could they do if they wanted to destroy us?" Meanwhile, Dr. Sunwoo, now Earth's ambassador to the galaxy, traveled to neutral space for a historic meeting. Representatives from 7 smaller civilizations waited for him. "We've watched what Earth has done," said one, a being of living crystal. "You've accomplished in years what took others centuries." "How?" "The Proximans made a fundamental mistake," Sunwoo explained. "They saw us as primitives because our technology was less advanced. They forgot that technology isn't the only measure of a civilization. Humans have fought each other for thousands of years. We've survived countless disasters. When united by a common threat, were capable of extraordinary progress. Within months, a new alliance formed. Earth and its partners called it the Free Worlds Coalition. Unlike the Proximan Cooperative, all members had equal votes regardless of technological development. 1 year after the battle at Mars, Ambassador Sunwoo addressed the newly reformed galactic community. "You called us sleeping giants and thought that an insult," he told the assembled representatives, including those from the now diminished Proximan Cooperative. "You failed to realize that a giant awakened is a force beyond your comprehension. Humanity doesn't seek domination. We've seen enough of that from you. We seek partnership, but on equal terms." As Earthships helped the Turonians rebuild their world, humanity expanded into the stars, not as conquerors or exploiters, but as explorers and allies to younger civilizations. The sleeping giant was fully awake now, standing tall among the stars, a defender of the weak, a challenger of tyrants and a species whose potential seemed limitless. Humanity's dawn had come, bringing new light to a galaxy long dominated by shadow.